Hello! In 2018, this car behind me was a will buy because, well, I bought this car. And since joining SG Carmart in 2019, I've driven over 100 different cars. And with that knowledge in mind, would I have actually bought this car in 2018? Let's find out. So my car is a 2018 Subaru Forester, the SJ model. The newest one is the SK one. So it has a 2-litre naturally aspirated engine, comes with a CVT transmission, and if you watch this channel enough, you know that I hate CVT transmissions. So why did I buy this car? Well, first reason, in 2018, I didn't know much about cars as I do now. And the next thing is, it was priced at $97,000. It was very, very affordable at that time. For a 2-litre car, it was probably the cheapest 2-litre car in 2018. Maybe because Motor Image knew that the new model was coming up and they were trying to clear their stocks. And yeah, they were selling it very cheap. COE was also $37,000 at that time. So that's maybe why you see so many Foresters on the road, you know. Motor Image successfully cleared all their stocks and there's a lot of Foresters on the road. Anyway, let's see what's so good and what's not so good about this car. Let's go. Let's start off with the Forester's looks. I think the Forester has been around for a good 20-30 years. And the good thing about Subaru is the shape of the car hasn't really changed much. And because of that, this car looks okay. What I'm trying to say is, in 2018, if there weren't any Foresters before that, and they just launched this car in 2018 looking like that, I would say this car is very ugly. But because you've grown used to this car over the years, with all the iterations of Foresters before this and the one after this, it all looks familiar. So it wouldn't win a beauty pageant, but you wouldn't find it offensively ugly. It just looks like a Forester. It's like rice. You could eat rice every day, but it's not going to be like chocolate or Wagyu where it's, ooh, so nice. It's not going to wow you that way, but it's like rice, you know, dependable. My rice car, yeah.
What?
Welcome to the birthplace of the anti-trolley length test. Yes, the anti-trolley used to live in this boot, and when I got this car and I got the anti-trolley, I realized that, hey, my boot can't take this thing. And if you watch enough of our reviews, right, you realize that a lot of sedans can actually take the length of the anti-trolley. So what I'm trying to say is, don't go buying an SUV thinking, oh, it's more practical. Yes, it has a more space in terms of vertical height for the boot most of the time, all of the time versus sedans. But in terms of depth, sometimes sedans have way more depth than SUVs like my Forester. Anyway, what I like about the Forester's boot is I can knock down the rear seats just like that, and no load lip, and everything goes in smoothly. Yeah, so I've moved house with this car and I've packed the back of the car with maybe $2,000 worth of Taobao furniture, and that's a lot of furniture. Yeah, that's the curse of having an SUV. Your wife makes you buy and haul a lot of things. If you had a small hatchback, then you can just say, hey, no space, don't buy so much. Yeah, don't buy an SUV. My back seat, loads of room everywhere. No aircon vents, but it doesn't bother me because it's my wife that sits here. So when you go buy a car, especially for a family, make sure the wife sits back here with the kid for them to see whether they like the backseat experience, because that's where they're going to spend most of the time anyway. Yeah. Amenities, as you can see, there are cup holders that I don't use because I only realized I have cup holders here maybe 3 weeks ago after having this car for 3 years. You see the plastic is still on. Yeah, because nobody ever uses this. Yeah, what else? Oh, you know, good thing about Forester, nice and boxy, ugly design, it means big windows. As you can see, I bought sunshades. Sunshades are very important because the greenhouse in this car is epic. And then the car can get quite hot because of the big windows. Sunshades actually make me save a lot of money on, actually not save a lot of money, but when people set the aircon temperature at like 20, I set it at 23, 24 because the sunshade blocks out a lot of heat. Yes, so invest in sunshades. Back seat, okay, ISOFIX points for my child seat. Can't complain, $97,000 car. Let me give you my 2018 perspective of why I picked this Subaru Forester. I was comparing this car with the Peugeot 3008 and the Nissan Qashqai. I came from a 2009 Hyundai i30, and when I stepped into this cabin will not beat the 3008 in terms of stylishness and the feeling of luxury. The 3008 would beat this car. But if you compare this to the Qashqai or my i30, this definitely feels more solid and more well made. Back in 2018, did I care about soft touch materials? No, I didn't, but on first impression, this feels the least plasticky amongst the i30 and the Qashqai. And it didn't feel boring. A lot of Japanese cars just felt old and uncle-ish. This actually felt young and sporty. Anyway, to equipment, as you can see, the stock head unit is no longer here. And if you watch my Kenwood head unit review video, you understand why I love this. And in fact, right after that video, I decided to buy this thing. I think this job is going to bankrupt me, but yeah. The old head unit didn't have Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, and it was a small screen, whereas this one is just big and there's an Apple CarPlay. So Apple CarPlay is essential to me. That's why I have this. Anyway, what I appreciate about Subaru is it makes controlling the car very easy. The aircon controls are very easy to understand knobs here. It's dual climate, so this passenger can adjust the temperature here. I can adjust my temperature here. I adjust the fan speed here, and can do all this while driving without even having to look down. And that's something a lot of car manufacturers seem to not appreciate. Maybe because in European countries you don't need to meddle with the controls too much. I don't know, but in our climate, when the sun can suddenly be scorching, you need to up your fan speed quickly. This is the best way to do it. Speaking of easy to understand controls, I like how you can switch drive modes from normal drive mode to sports at the push of a button right here without even needing to look at the button. A lot of times, you need to have a mini speed boost to take revenge on the guy that cut you. You need to go into sports mode immediately. This is very helpful. I don't understand why some car manufacturers need to make the drive selector a knob here, or worse, those that you have to go through the menu here to press just to get the sports mode. You need the sport button here, easily accessible like a Porsche Cayenne. Yes, I appreciate that about the Subaru. And in 2018, having electronic seats was the bomb, but there's no memory seats, unfortunately. Handbrake is still manual. Yeah, my car is just like that. Yes. Now let's see how it drives. Let's go. Before we go on our drive, let's talk about the sponsor for today's video. Haha, you're trapped in a sponsored video. Selling your car can be quite a tedious process. When you list your car up on various platforms, you have to deal with all the people who lowball you, or people who schedule an appointment to test drive your car, then they don't show up. Or worse, after a lot of negotiation, then you lock it down with one buyer, then at the last moment he said, hey, can you cheaper by $2,000? Those type of things are pretty inconvenient and frustrating. But there's a better way to sell your car now. You can sell it through SG Carmart's Quotes platform. Basically, what you do for Quotes is you drive your car down to Quotes, they'll take a bunch of pictures of your car and list it up on their auction website. Used car dealers will then bid against each other for your car, and the final price will be definitely better than if you were to try and sell the car on your own. And what if a dealer backs out of the accepted price? Like for example, I accepted the final bid price of $76,000 for my Forester. What happens if they back out from that? Quotes will actually honor their price and buy the car from you at $76,000. And what if you don't like that it's only $76,000? You want the moon for your Forester, $200,000. Don't worry, you can back out of the auction as well. There's no loss to you, except you wasted time lah. Yeah, so visit quotes.com.sg to sell your car. So what is it like driving my Subaru Forester? Some performance figures first. Up front is a 2-litre turbocharged engine which produces 148 brake horsepower and 198 Newton meters of torque. All of that is mated to a CVT. And after driving 3 years, I have decided my next car will not have a CVT. It's just very tiring listening to the CVT drone and feel it groan when you try to overtake or put your foot down. The rubber band effect is quite pronounced. Not all CVTs are made equal, I must say. The CVT in the Forester is not that bad, especially if you compare it to one of its Japanese competitors in the same class, a 7-seater one actually. That is very sluggish. Anyway, ride comfort wise, I don't know if it's because it's my car. I feel very comfortable in these seats. The suspension is set up for comfort. It is very pronounced, especially when you come from a sedan. This car soaks up all the bumps and all the little rocks on the road very well. And because it's set up for comfort, taking corners can be a bit harrowing, especially because this car is quite tall. There's quite a bit of body roll, so it's not very confidence inspiring when you're trying to take corners quickly. And that might be a reason why a lot of Forester owners, one of the first modifications they do is to swap out the anti-roll bars in the car. Anyway, in terms of safety assistance features, there's only cruise control. There's no eyesight for this model. So if you want all those newfangled lane keep assist, lane departure warning, blind spot monitoring, there isn't any. Yeah. Oh, one more thing. A lot of times when I do car reviews, people in the comments will say, hey, you left out the reliability. I can't comment on the reliability of a car that I've driven for 3 days and a maximum of 300 to 500 kilometers. I can tell you what I've experienced for my Forester, which is about 3.5 years old, and I've driven about 67,000 kilometers on it. No problem with the engine, no problem with the transmission. What are the things that needed replacing? The folding mirrors, the left side failed at about the 2.5 year mark. Under warranty, so it was replaced quickly. The aircon is a known issue that Subaru Forester's aircon have some problems with the compressor and condenser. I did not have such a problem with the aircon, but I needed to top up the gas once, and the problem went away. My aircon blower motor had a weird squeaking sound, which is also another known problem in Subaru Foresters, and that was replaced under warranty. Another known Subaru Forester problem is the lower arms need to be replaced, and I got mine replaced at 60,000 kilometers. So yes, all in all, I would say this car is reliable. No major issues that require major engine components to be replaced. It has never broken down. Yeah, so it's just usual wear and tear. I mean, the power mirrors tend to fail after 3 to 5 years. So yeah, mine failed at the 2.5 year mark. Nice thing is the left side broke, but Motor Image replaced both sides for me for free. Good stuff there. Yes. So is the Subaru Forester the SJ model a will buy, won't buy, or go try? 3 years ago, it was a will buy for me because I bought it. Because it was really value for money. It was really, if I'm not wrong, the cheapest 2-liter car available at that time. And it fulfilled my aspirations to get a big-ish looking car, an SUV, to house my family in. But in 2021, I feel that this car is a go try because the 2-liter naturally aspirated engine mated to a CVT feels a bit dated. There are so many cars now that are lower displacements with a turbo engine that gives more torque, more urgency when you step on the pedal, and lower road tax. So if you're in the market for a car, a used car that is maybe 1 or 2 years old, there are cars out there that are already on the 1.2 liter or 1.4 liter engines with turbocharger. You should look at those as well and compare to this one. However, I would say practicality wise, this car is very practical. It's big and boxy. The passengers at the rear will have loads of headroom, loads of visibility, and yeah, it's just a very sensible car. So go and try it and let me know whether you will buy this 2018 Subaru Forester. Maybe you want to buy mine. Can you offer something like $80,000? I'll sell it to you immediately. I'll deliver it to you. Yes. Anyway, thanks for watching this review. I hope you enjoyed it. If you think you want more of such reviews where you review used cars, please let me know in the comments below and let me know what used car models you would want to see reviewed. Yes, thank you. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. Follow us on TikTok, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.